Hey you, yes you, the one constantly wondering if you're doing enough, being enough, achieving enough. I see you, and I want to tell you something that might just change the way you see yourself. You are not in competition with anyone else. In a world obsessed with comparison, likes, followers, and filters, it's easy to forget your own worth. But today, I want to have a real conversation with you, a reminder from one imperfect, growing human being to another. This isn't about being perfect. This is about being you fully, freely, unapologetically. So take a breath. Let's talk about why you should stop comparing yourself with others and start embracing your own beautiful, messy, powerful journey. You see, each of us is born with a distinct fingerprint, a unique voice, a path only we can walk. But the moment we start comparing ourselves to someone else, whether it's their looks, career, relationship, or lifestyle, we start chipping away at what makes us special. I've learned this the hard way. There was a time I questioned everything about myself. I wasn't fair enough, tall enough, Indian enough, or international enough. I tried to fit into molds that were never meant for me. And every time I compared myself to someone who seemed more perfect, I lost a little piece of my authenticity. Here's what I want you to remember. No one else can do what you do the way you do it. That's your edge. That's your power. But the moment you start measuring your worth against someone else's achievements, you're turning your light down. You're denying the world the magic only you can bring. Comparison is a thief. It won't just take your joy. It will rob you of your identity. Instead of asking, why am I not like them? Ask, what makes me me? Cultivate that, nourish it, own it. I'm not saying don't be inspired by others. Do it, but let it spark your fire, not drown it. Be proud of your journey, your struggles, your growth. Because when you fully embrace who you are, you don't need to compete. You simply shine. So next time you're tempted to compare, pause and remind yourself, your uniqueness is your superpower. Don't give it away. You know, one of the most powerful lessons I've learned, both in life and in this whirlwind of a career, is this: everyone's journey is different. We're all writing our own stories, and no two stories are meant to look the same. It's so easy to get distracted by someone else's timeline. She got promoted, he bought a house, they got married, he started a business, and suddenly you start questioning your own journey. Am I behind? Did I miss something? But let me tell you something from experience. You are not late. You are on your own clock. When I was 18, I didn't plan on being Miss World. That wasn't the dream. But life had its own plan for me. And it unfolded not because I followed someone else's path, but because I focused on my own. I've seen people rise at 22 and fall by 30. I've also seen others find themselves at 40 and bloom beautifully. There's no single route to success, no perfect timeline to live by. Your journey will have detours, it'll have moments of doubt, but it will also have growth, beauty, and purpose if you stay true to it. The danger in constantly looking sideways is that you forget to look forward. You lose sight of where you were meant to go. So stay in your lane. Water your own grass. Focus on becoming the best version of you. Because the magic happens when you stop trying to keep up with others and start trusting your own pace. Let them run their race, you run yours, with heart, with courage, and with your eyes on your own path. Let's get real about something we all use every day: social media. I love it. It connects us, inspires us, gives us a platform to share our voice. But there's a side to it we don't talk about enough. Social media is not reality. It's a highlight reel, a curated version of someone's life. And if you forget that, it can seriously mess with your mind. You're scrolling, right? 1 second you see someone in the Maldives, the next, someone showing off their luxury car, perfect skin, dreamy relationship, flawless life. And suddenly you're sitting there in your pajamas, doubting yourself. Why doesn't my life look like that? Am I falling behind? But here's the truth. You're comparing your raw, unfiltered moments to someone else's best angles. No one posts their bad days, their insecurities, their silent struggles. You don't see the anxiety behind that smile, the hard work behind that success, or the pain behind those perfect pictures. I've had moments when I've felt overwhelmed by the pressure of being perfect online. But the more I embraced authenticity, the freer I felt, because real is powerful, real connects, real matters. So the next time you catch yourself feeling less than because of what you see on your feed, pause. Remind yourself this is the cover page, not the whole book, and you are doing just fine in your real, messy, beautiful life. Let social media inspire you, not define you. Don't let someone's filtered world distort your unfiltered reality. Because behind every flawless post is a human being, just like you, figuring life out one step at a time. And trust me, your real story is worth more than 1,000 perfect posts. We often convince ourselves that comparing with others will push us to do better, that it's motivation. But let me tell you something from experience. Comparison doesn't inspire you. It slowly breeds insecurity. When you look at someone else and think, why don't I have what they have? You're not being inspired. You're doubting your own worth. That voice in your head isn't cheering you on. It's whispering that you're not enough, and that's toxic. I've had moments, plenty of them, where I looked at other women in the industry and thought, she's more talented, or she's more graceful, or why can't I be like that? But every single time I went down that road, I lost a little piece of my confidence. It didn't make me work harder. It made me feel smaller. True inspiration doesn't come from comparison. It comes from connection. Admire someone's success, yes. Learn from their journey, absolutely. But don't let it make you question yours. Because the moment comparison turns into competition with someone else's life, you've already taken your eyes off your own growth. Insecurity isn't built in a day, it builds quietly every time you tell yourself you're not enough, and comparison is one of its sharpest tools. So what do? You shift your perspective. You stop saying, why not me? And start saying, if they can, I can too in my own way. That's where empowerment begins, not by tearing yourself down, but by building yourself up. Your journey, your timing, your magic, they're not meant to be replicas of someone else's. They're meant to be yours. So don't feed your insecurity with comparison. Feed your inspiration with belief in you. You know, there's something beautiful about admiring someone else's success, talent, or beauty. But what's not beautiful is when we use that admiration as a reason to tear ourselves down. And that happens more than we'd like to admit. Let's be clear, you can admire someone without devaluing yourself. Their light doesn't dim yours. Their brilliance doesn't mean you're any less bright. This world isn't running out of success stories or room at the table. There's enough space for all of us to shine. I've admired so many powerful women in actresses, entrepreneurs, humanitarians, women who have broken barriers, changed conversations, owned their space, but for a long time admiring them made me feel not enough, like I had to catch up, like I had to be them to matter. Then I realized that admiration isn't about imitation. It's about inspiration. It's about saying, wow, look at her go, while also saying, and I'm proud of where I'm going to. You don't have to look like her. Speak like her, achieve at her pace. Your path is valid, your progress matters. You can clap for someone else's win and still believe in your own. That's not weakness, that's confidence. The moment you start appreciating others without comparing, you free yourself. You grow, you become someone who lifts up instead of tearing down. And in that space, there's real strength. So yes, admire the grace, the grit, the greatness in others. Let it light a spark in you, but never, ever let it shrink your sense of self. Because you too are worthy of admiration, especially from yourself. We live in a world that praises perfection, flawless selfies, perfect grades, perfect relationships, perfect careers. But let's be honest, perfection is an illusion. It's a moving target, and chasing it can make you feel like you're never enough. That's why I believe in something so much more powerful, celebrating progress. There was a time in my life when I was obsessed with getting everything just right. Every line in a script, every appearance, every word I spoke in interviews. I wanted it all to be perfect, and if it wasn't, I'd beat myself up. But the truth is, real growth doesn't happen in perfection. It happens in the messy, in the process, in the trying again. Every step forward, even the smallest one, is a win. Did you show up today when you didn't feel like it? That's progress. Did you choose self-care over self-doubt? That's growth. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep moving. When you focus only on perfection, you ignore the beauty of becoming. You overlook how far you've come because you're too busy looking at how far you think you still have to go. So pause, look back, celebrate the version of you who kept going. Celebrate the moments you chose courage over comfort, effort over excuses. Progress means you're evolving, and evolution is way more powerful than perfection. Don't wait for the perfect moment to be proud of yourself. Be proud now, in this moment, because every step forward counts, even if it's not flawless. And remember, the people who succeed aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who celebrate every step and just keep going. In a world that constantly compares, competes, and races for the top, I want to share something that completely shifted my mindset. The only person you ever need to compete with is who you were yesterday. I've been in industries, beauty, film, business, where comparison is constant. Someone always looks better, gets more roles, has more followers, or achieves something faster. And for a long time, I chased that idea of being better than the next person. But it never brought me peace, just pressure and insecurity. Then one day I asked myself, what if I just focused on being better than I was yesterday? A better actor, a better speaker, a better daughter, a better version of me. And that shift changed everything, because that kind of competition is healthy, it's empowering, it's rooted in self-growth, not self-doubt. When you compete with yourself, you don't have to tear anyone down. You lift yourself up. Maybe yesterday you hesitated to speak up in a meeting, and today you found your voice. That's progress. Maybe yesterday you gave in to fear, and today you showed up with courage. That's a win. You don't need to leap. You just need to move forward one step at a time. Someone else's timeline is none of your business. Your only job is to evolve, grow, and become a little stronger, wiser, braver than the person you were before. The real competition, it's with the doubts that held you back yesterday, the fear that told you you can't, so prove it wrong, not for the world to see, but for you to believe, because when you compete with yourself, you don't just grow, you transform. For the longest time, I thought confidence came from being perfect, saying the right thing, looking the right way, fitting into what the world expected of me. But over the years, and through a lot of trial and error, I've realized something much deeper. True confidence doesn't come from perfection. It comes from embracing your individuality. You see, we live in a culture that often teaches us to blend in, to conform, to be normal. But normal is overrated and it's boring. What sets you apart, your quirks, your ideas, your story, that's where your power lies. The more you try to become like everyone else, the more you lose touch with who you really are. I've been called too opinionated, too ambitious, too bold, and for a while I let those labels get to me. But then I realized those aren't flaws, they're my flavor, my identity, my strength. Real confidence is quiet. It's not about being the loudest in the room, it's about knowing who you are, even when the world doesn't get it. It's about showing up as yourself, unapologetically, wearing what you want, speaking your truth, owning your story. Because when you embrace your individuality, you stop seeking validation. You stop needing to fit in. You start standing out, and not just for show, but for something real. So if you've ever felt like you're too much or not enough, stop right there. You're exactly who you're meant to be. Lean into that. Grow from it. Confidence isn't about being like anyone else. It's about being more of you, because trust me, There's nothing more powerful, magnetic, and unstoppable than a person who's truly comfortable in their own skin.